Hello, welcome back to the Who Pod. But if you search for it on something like Spotify, you have to type in the Geek Show, the Who Pod for some reason. And I don't know why.
It's just the Who Pod. I thought I found it.
Did you? Oh, when I was looking at it earlier, because I was thinking, when people find the Who Pod, do they ever actually find it, or what do you have to type in, and what are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Finding the bloody Who Pod.
Oh right, that was you moving it against your chest or something.
Oh yeah, sorry. You have to type in Who Pod Geek Show.
Yeah. See, it's weird, isn't it? Never mind that. Today we're going to be talking about David Tennant in Doctor Who, the overuse
I love
of
David
him.
Tennant. Oh
minute.
my god, he's so sexy.
Well, should we talk about the actual argument itself first? Because I think it's a silly argument to begin with, right? So the idea that when he regenerates, we were all so sad to see him. I remember crying. I used to cry every single time I watched it. But at this point,
Still do.
At this point, I still do occasionally. Last time I watched it, I didn't, but I felt kind of like, oh my god. But I didn't cry.
I did cry, and I'll tell you which bit I cried at. The bit where he goes to the book signing, and it goes like, "Did she have a happy life?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Yes," and she goes, "Did you?" And it's the bottom lip, the bloody bottom lip when it wobbles. Oh, David, man.
For me, it changes every time I watch it. So, the last time I watched it the other month, it was the bit when Donna gets given the scratch card. That's the winning scratch card given by her dad.
It's Wolf's face, isn't it?
Yeah. That got me last time. But we are so wimpy. Oh my goodness. We literally just said the points that we cry during Doctor Who, and it's a different time.
What bit do you cry at Matt Smith's regeneration?
It's because it hasn't got the mellow, the drama, the soap opera-ness to it, I think.
I didn't cry as much as Tennant, but it was I did shed a tear. I will always remember when the Doctor was me, or that
is such a cool. We've been so sidetracked, but that was a really good line.
It was. It's so much better than I don't want to go.
But we were, how old were we? 10?
Well,
8?
when Tennant regenerated, we were 9.
Well, then we can't be 10, can we?
No, we were 8.
We
were 8 when Tennant regenerated.
Yeah, it must have been.
And then when Smith regenerated, we would have been 11.
Yeah, year 7-ish, wasn't it?
Jodie, we would have been. I want to say 15.
Well, it was like 2 years ago. We were in sixth form. I remember because we used to talk about.
No.
During her first series, we were at sixth form.
Oh, her first series, yeah. So we were 16 because it was November.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have been 15 when Capaldi regenerated. No, or was there a year gap?
There was a year gap. It was 17.
No, there was a year gap from Capaldi to her. There was a year gap because that whole year we're like, oh my god, it's going to be so good. And then how much I regret. I honestly wish I could go back to Will and be like, don't get your hopes up.
I think you had your hopes way too high, to be honest, for the first time.
No, but we all did because looking back on videos so we have this. I really like the idea of Chris Chibnall because I loved Broadchurch.
Yeah.
And then I liked Woman Who Fell to Earth. And then it just
I remember you liking Woman Who Fell to Earth, and I liked it too. And I think it was like I liked that one, but I was never quite sure whether it was going to be good or bad that week.
Like it. But then, did we just like it because Doctor Who was back?
When I think of my review for the first episode, I think a lot of that was the case.
Your review for Series 11 is just funny. You gave them, most of them,
I know,
more than 5 out of 10.
I regret that completely because I don't think all of them deserve it. Well, I don't think people would watch that now. But, I might, because I don't think I've seen the Sanangra Conundrum since it first aired.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen any of the episodes since they've aired.
Maybe we could do it next month on the podcast. Next year on the podcast. The retrospective of Series 11. Anyway, we've been really sidetracked for 7 minutes. I'm gonna put
Oh yeah, we forgot. What
I'm
we
gonna
have to
pull it
talk about.
back. So I remember when I was younger, all I wanted was some more Tennant because I miss Tennant so much. I just want to see some more of him, and now we're seeing him a lot over lockdown. I think it's because his schedule is so busy that now that it's become empty because nothing has really been filmed for a while. He's had a chance to do things such as staged and a lot of Big Finish.
Yeah, but he hasn't done any Big Fish audio. Big Finish audio,
Fish,
so has he?
Big Fish audio.
Big
He
Fish.
has.
Big Fish, Little Fish.
He's got a thing called Dark Times coming out. Out of Time, and he's got like a trilogy coming out, which I've pre-ordered because I thought they were really cool. So you've got one with Tom Baker, one with Peter Davison, and one with the Sixth Doctor.
Oh, they sound sick.
And this is when I think things were going a bit weird, right, for me, because this is when I felt the fan service of the 10th Doctor a bit more. Out of Time, I really enjoyed. I thought it was great. 4th Doctor, 10th Doctor in some kind of like church, like I imagine it as a bit like the doorway to like the crossroads to loads of places, right? That it's supposed to be for like meditation and stuff. So they go there. The Doctor's, just before Waters of Mars, and Baker is kind of just before Deadly Assassin, I think, or just after. And they're both contemplating, and they're against Daleks that are trying to invade the church, which I thought was pretty cool.
Spoilers, by the way. If you haven't
that wasn't spoilers though, was it? That was just the synopsis. And then you have another one with this one I'm really looking forward to. Peter Davison and David Tennant versus Cybermen, I believe. Or it was Colin Baker, David Tennant versus Weeping Angels. Whichever was first. I think that was first, and I think I've got the order right.
See, the thing is, I don't know if it's... The thing is, it's not... They are cramming in David Tennant because it's what the fans love the 10th Doctor. They know that we go mental for the 10th Doctor. And the current state Doctor Who's in, I think even the BBC knows the current state Doctor Who is in is not good.
Yeah, and this big gap that we've kind of had has not
That's
helped.
why the trailer was there was barely any of Jodie. What for the game? I'm on about the game.
Yeah.
Did we actually see Jodie's Doctor?
No, but didn't we hear her?
We just got we got lines, but we just got environmental shot.
Yeah, that's what most game trailers are.
And then the big reveal is 10th Doctor because they know, oh my fucking god, the 10th Doctor, we're gonna buy it for the 10th Doctor.
But are you playing with sonic screwdrivers?
I am.
When I was when I bought Out of Time, I was just so excited to see Out of Time, to listen to it, because I wanted to see the dynamic between the two Doctors. I wanted to see David Tennant back in Doctor Who, because I haven't listened to his audios that he did a couple of years ago. And
what, the Chronicles?
No, actual David Tennant Donna ones.
Oh no, that Chronicles
volumes. Yeah. And I think that's why I went and pre-ordered it. But I saw one recently, this Dark Times thing, and Genetics of the Daleks, which is a Tom Baker audio. I saw it, and I just went, oh, great, another one. Featuring the Daleks. It feels like I've kind of lost the enthusiasm for them that I had to begin with. It's a bit like now that we've seen so much Tennant, we're sitting there going, more Tennant, great. But at the end of the day, why am I complaining about more Tennant?
Yeah, I'm not complaining one bit. I get why the BBC is doing it. It's because Doctor Who is dead. Like, we can admit it. This current Doctor Who is dead.
And also there's absolutely nothing going on. And because Timeless Children was so divided, there is...
And they know more people are going to buy the game.
Yeah.
So if they had a game with just David Tennant and just Jodie, they know David Tennant's going to get way more sales.
Like last month when me and Yasmin took a look at the ranking of the Doctors, David Tennant was definitely in first. Although saying that...
Jodie Whittaker second!
Jodie was in second.
Bollocks!
Yeah, saying that, she was in second. But, the current incarnation always is, to be honest, because that would make sense, wouldn't it? It's like they've taken the opportunity, because now is the time to take the opportunity. When David's got nothing going on, get him in to do everything, And I think that they've had loads of projects that they just haven't greenlit with him. So they've had loads of projects they wanted to do, but they just haven't found the time to do it. And because of quarantine and everything, they've gone yes, 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 yes on all of them.
Well, he's always said he will return to Doctor Who whenever the chance, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So it's the same with like even on like all the panel shows. It's Jodie and the 10th. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like so, something that I find that is getting annoying in terms of this saturation of use of characters such as David Tennant's Doctor, as the example we're using.
The Daleks.
No. Just as an example of the saturation of the Doctor's use, or the 10th incarnation anyway. I wanted to. I've lost my train of thought. Crap. I wanted to say.
We'll talk about the overuse of the Daleks.
No, I will. But I wanted to try and finish this point that I had, and I can't remember what it was.
Go on then, Dan. No pressure.
Yeah. So with the constant use of doctors such as because every Doctor now comes back and does Big Finish and things like that. Eccleston has come back.
Capaldi hasn't.
Capaldi probably will in time though. No one thought Eccleston was going to come back, and he did. So I think Capaldi will in time. Michelle Gomez has. Smith hasn't done any neither, but at the minute he's quite busy. He does a lot of stuff. Same as David Tennant. And Jacob Dudman does a good job, doesn't he? So what's the point?
Oh yeah, Jacob Dudman's impression of Smith is 10 times better than his David Tennant.
Well, I think his impressions of both of them are really good, but I think he has the edge on Matt Smith.
Yeah.
And then
I followed his YouTube. It's so weird.
Yeah. Do you then feel that because of the returning of every single Doctor, so when I watch End of Time now, I see the end of the Doctor, but then I go, not really. Like when.
Not really. Just wait till 50th anniversary. Wait till the 60th.
Not really. Wait till Out of Time.
Do you reckon he'll be in the 60th?
I do. Of course he will. And then.
Because it's Chibnall.
This is a whole different thing. This is a different thing about Chibnall and like the whole 60th anniversary and his return and all of that, because
but all I'm saying,
imagine the disappointment
more likely
and things
to
like
return
that.
than Matt Smith or someone, because he worked with Chibnall on Broadchurch. They've got that past relationship.
But it's not about that. It's about whether he's free or not, which is the logistics of doing it. But he might be into
He's going to make time for it. It's the 60th anniversary of the show that blew up his career.
So when we see Tennant and stuff disappear, does that, but not really, does that mean that when Jodie regenerates, when we look at this scene when she regenerates, are we going to be sad that she's gone?
Yes, finally, yes, she's gone. Yes, she's gone. Oh, wait, no, Chibnall's staying on. That's going to be my reaction.
Or is it going to be a reaction of, oh, she's gone, but I will probably see her in a Big Finish in a year's time. Like, who cares?
She'll pop up in the 70th.
It might take the edge off a regeneration story if that's not the definitive end, but is what I'm trying to say.
No, because it's always going to be their end on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people who consider their TV as their run, like, think about it. We've had the end of Matt Smith. We've had the end of the 11th Doctor.
Well, it's somewhere like the ending of an arc, isn't it, I suppose?
It is. It's their time on the show. Like, they may still pop up, but most people don't really count Big Finish as canon.
Or they're the current incarnation, like the most up-to-date version. But I don't think you ever lose the idea of being the Doctor.
They're never going to be the Doctor again. You get what I mean? Like, they might be in Big Finish, but they're not
a Doctor, but not the Doctor. The current, you might say.
Yeah, they're going to be a Doctor. Yeah, the current, nice.
Thank you. That's why I was so quiet for the last 10 seconds. I was thinking of that.
You're thinking of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but they're always going to be a Doctor, and they're always going to return to it, because they've always got that fan base for once they return, but they're never going to make a proper appearance back to the main screen unless it's for a special or something. So I guess, like, it still has that emotional impact when they leave, because they're leaving the show. And most of the audience don't listen to Big Finish. They don't collect the magazines. They don't play the games. You know what I mean? So they're still leaving.
Yeah.
It's still the end of your Doctor.
It's still the regeneration scene at the end of the day. It's still their it is their
Exactly.
it is their end, even if they try and fit some box sets or whatever in the middle. See, that's why I'm quite interested in the Eighth Doctor, because really he never had an era. He never had a
I think
series.
the Eighth Doctor's the only exception, really.
Like, I
But then
love
that's because
Ravenous.
he couldn't really.
because of
I'd
that.
love to see him return.
I think along with the 10th Doctor, you have also the oversaturation of the Daleks and their use in episodes. Now, personally, I don't like the Daleks that much in audio because I don't think they have the presence, but I can understand why people do. I think sometimes it's quite weird to write Daleks because Daleks aren't normally that expositional than they are in Big Finish and things like that.
Daleks are overused. They're not menacing anymore. They're not scary. I can't remember the last time I was scared of a Dalek.
Daleks are very unscary, though, really. Just in general, they're not that scary. But we were always scared of the Daleks because they were scary because of what they meant to the Doctor, not because they were scary.
But think about his reaction when he saw the Daleks or saw Davros, right, in Stolen, and think about how much he just doesn't care about them anymore. Like, Witch's Familiar and Magician's Apprentice, that's got to be the biggest laughing stock at Daleks ever.
I like that episode. I haven't watched it in a while, but I liked
Why?
that episode. last time I
He goes
watched it.
up to Daleks, the people who he was involved
don't
in
shoot
the Time
him.
War, and goes, anyone for Dodgem.
Yeah.
Now,
They've been
and then starts
weakened.
drinking tea. They can't be the menacing enemies if you do that.
Cut
They're
to
not scary anymore.
Dalek and the speech when he's basically telling it to kill itself. Cut to that scene, and then cut to the scene when he says
Kill yourself.
Dodgems. And he's on the Dodgem. Imagine if they cut the audio from that scene and put it over the Dodgems scene.
All right then. If you want orders, follow this one. Kill yourself.
The Daleks must survive!
The Daleks have failed! Why don't you finish the job and make the Daleks extinct? Rid the universe of your filth! Why don't you just die?
So, anyone for Dodgems?
Why don't you just die? And he's sitting in the chair. It just doesn't work. All the fun of Daleks that aren't scary anymore. But that could be a whole different thing for a whole new thing. But I felt like they were quite a presence in Resolution, because at least they were kind of like, ooh, danger with the Daleks kind of thing. No, but it was like one Dalek can kill all of these people. It had kind of like the vibe of a episode of Dalek, yeah, the Dalek episode. So, something like that would have been cool. But now it's like, you've got loads of Daleks. You were scared of one, here's 7,000, or insert generic big number here. That basically becomes they're drawn to when it comes to Daleks and things like that. And I think that things such as the Cybermen, the Weeping Angels, that game features the Weeping Angels. And when you talk to people about, like not classic fans, when you talk to people that are casual fans, they sit there and they'll say, oh, yeah, there's the angel things, they're terrifying. What are they called? The Weeping Angels, yeah. Things like that are absolutely terrifying to them, and they seem to, well, they are terrifying in general, but they seem to be like the big villain that people always talk about. Weeping Angels, Daleks, Cybermen. Coincidentally, they're also the creatures that the 10th Doctor is going up against in the Out of Time box set. The 5th Doctor recently went up against them in a series thing called something Dalek.
Are you okay, Dan?
Yeah, I kept talking because you weren't saying anything, so I kept going.
Right, okay. I didn't want to stop your rambles, that's why.
Must have drink.
Must have drink.
Right. I've kind of worn myself out, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't really know what else to say. All I know that the Daleks are overused. David Tennant is overused, but I still don't care because I love him, and can't wait for the game.
Thanks, Will.
You're right.
Okay, so next month, if all things go to plan, we have a very special challenge for you and me, Will.
Oh, great. What is it?
We are going to be versus each other in a Doctor Who quiz.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What are you, Bill and Ted? Come on.
What's the quiz about?
Probably Doctor Who, to be honest. I'll ask.
Classic or modern?
Probably modern, because for your sake.
Thank you.
Let me just turn this text and then I'll end it.
You've got any plans on taking the Pandora to
Oh
tonight?
god, this is what
Just
happens when you
remember
let.
who's standing
We should not
in your
record
way.
this late.
Remember,
I've.
every black day I ever stopped you, and then, do the smart thing. Let somebody else try first. Na, 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 na,
Oh. Oh dear.
na.
That was awful. Okay, so thank you very, very much for listening this month. Go and check out the previous months. Last month, me and Yasmin looked at the rankings of the Doctor according to the Radio Times poll. Next month we got quizzes, and the end of the year.
Ship them.
Screw you. And the end of the year is coming, so things always change at the end of the year. I'm thinking about a couple of changes I'd like to make, but
Is the festive special Christmas or New Year's?
Christmas, but
Is it?
well,
Is it though?
not confirmed. But I doubt it would be New Year's because the DVD thing, the Blu-ray thing that they have, aren't listed on Amazon. Says 2020.
Oh,
If you didn't know that.
I don't.
Did you see it? Yeah. So
No.
this will be interesting. But thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you didn't.
All right, Dan.
Yeah, thank you very much for sitting there. Thank you very much, Will, for being around this time. Much appreciated.
All right, mate.
Sorry for filming this late as well. But thank you very much for listening.
Alright.
Hopefully you did enjoy the podcast. If you want to search us up on Spotify at the minute for some weird reason, it is currently The Geek Show, The Who Pod.
No, it's the Who Pod Geek
The
Show.
Who-
Thank
that
you
makes,
very
like,
much.
why does it do that? I'm going to try and fix that. I might even try and fix that before this episode gets released. But it should be at the Who Pod on sites such as, you ready? Let's see how many I can name. I think there's 7. So thank you very much for listening. If you want to go and check out the podcast on any other platforms, you have to type it in weirdly like that, or find it on things such as iTunes, Spotify, Deezer.
Brasco.
That's not a podcast provider.
No, but Krafko's the racist. Right, here we go. YouTube, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify,
Yes.
My Heart Radio.
Oh my god, yes. Go on, Will.
Fuck me, there's more.
Yeah.
BBC Sound.
No. Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and YouTube. If you've already said that one, though, haven't you? Thank you very much for listening, and we shall see you soon. Goodbye.
Ta-ra. Don't die.
That was a dark ending.
Stay 2 meters apart. Make sure you wear a mask. And fuck Boris Johnson.
What's the saying? Space,
Face, hands.
hands. That'll do.
Hands, face, face.
Hands, head, mouth.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Mouth and nose are the important ones, by the way. Cover them with a mask and put the mask over your nose as well. If you're a 40-year-old Karen listening to this and you come into my shop, yeah, and you haven't got that mask over your nose, I'm allowed to actually beat you out of the store. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See, that was a fun ending.